Welcome to the channel. This is Techno Scope.
Welcome, Scoper Nation, to the Rant Block. This is a video series I created for things that bother me in the tech space, and today I'm taking aim squarely at Facebook. Not only did they have a very pitiful keynote today, if you watched it, then you know how bad it was. Every time they spoke and paused for applause, it was like people had to, catch on that they were supposed to be applauding there. So, yeah, it was bad. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because this is actually years overdue, and I thought by now this would be fixed. And it's a problem that Facebook has to address. Facebook needs to fix this. There's this thing. There's a big change that they made years ago. I mean, we're probably talking 2012, 13-ish, somewhere around there. That they made with their platform, where they removed the feature for the posts that you see to be in chronological order, and they started arranging them in the order of most relevant. And that wasn't really that big of a deal at first, because they gave you the option to change it back to most recent, is what they call it. You could arrange it by most recent or top posts, or whatever they called it, most relevant back then. I don't remember. But anyway, the problem is that they took that feature away, the ability to set your default. Now you're forced to most relevant all the time, no matter what. And the only way, and I haven't looked at this in well over a year, but last time I looked, the only way to get to most recent was if you're on the phone, go through the menus into the setting. And I mean, there was a lot of steps to get to most recent. And you could only look at most recent. You can set it as your default. So every time you want to see most recent, you would have to go through all those steps again, into the menu, back to it. On the computer, I'm not even sure. I'm sure there's a button somewhere that you can click. I'm not even sure how to do it on the computer. But either way it goes, you cannot set it as your default anymore, period. It doesn't exist anymore. And the reason I'm making this video and I'm ranting about this is because Facebook has positioned themselves and declared themselves a way for people to communicate when other forms of communication break down. We didn't have Facebook or, many of the other social media things we have now back on 9/11. And when people were trying to communicate back then, phone lines were jammed and communication was a problem, which is one of the things that led to why we have digital TV signals now, and the old analog TVs don't even work, because they redistributed those frequencies to help us overcome those issues that we had back then. But when it comes to Facebook, it's become one of the primary, matter of fact, it is the primary form of communication for me and my friends. The people that are on my other YouTube channels, people that I communicate with on a regular basis. I mean, even family members. Facebook has become the primary form of communication. So it bothers me when that communication breaks down and you can't get word out on something that's time sensitive. The reason I say that this is overdue is because back in 2015, let's get this clear. 2015, for the most part, was a great year. I mean, like, crime was down, in major cities, and, we didn't lose many people. Weather, for the most part, behaved that year. I mean, 2015, actually, I think it was like one of the wettest years in Dallas, but for the most part, 2015 was a good year. 2016 sucked, and the week preceding 2016 sucked. We lost a lot of good celebrities. We lost, I'm not gonna say names because some of them are very sad, but we lost a lot of bad things happened in 2016. I'm not gonna go into all those things, but you know what they are. If just think about it hard enough. But the week before 2016 started, that's when all the bad stuff started. Here in Dallas, the day after Christmas, now Christmas Day was like 70 degrees, mid 70s, I believe. If you're in a place that uses Celsius, do the conversion, I'm sorry. But yeah, on the day of Christmas, it was like, low to mid 70s. The next day, the day after Christmas, December 26, 2015, it was even warmer. I mean, we're talking about 79, 80 degrees. And now keep in mind, in Texas, we typically consider that a fair weather day. I know in some parts of the world that's considered hot, but here it can get much hotter than that during the summer. So 70s to 80s is what we consider fair weather days when it's a clear sky. That particular day, the day after Christmas, December 26, 2015, it was very, very, very muggy. It was very humid outside. And a storm system came through, and it was a very, very, very powerful storm system. That's not out of the norm for Texas. North Texas, we get two bad severe weather seasons. In Texas, it doesn't really matter what day of the year it is. We can have severe weather any day of the year. We usually have severe weather centered around spring and early to mid fall. This was in the middle or at the beginning of winter, but it was still a spring-like day. And a storm system came through, and this storm system was very powerful. And I'm sitting there, as I usually do, because I'm fascinated by weather. So I'm watching the Weather Channel, and it started looking very dangerous. And suddenly, this feeling of concern came over me. So I have kids. If you didn't know that, I went and told my kids, I was like, look, this is what you're going to do. If I tell you to, I don't care what you're doing, you drop what you do, you go do this. And that moment actually came, and I told my kids, you go to that place where I told you to go, and you take cover and hide. And I should have been in there, but at the same time, I was trying to figure out, how safe they're going to be. So I'm sitting there still watching the TV. I don't have a weather radio like I should. Like every North Texan should have a weather radio, but I didn't, unfortunately. I still don't. But I was watching the TV, trying to keep an eye on the weather. And while the weather was severe, they weren't really saying anything as far as damaging weather. It was rain, hail, and winds, like normal storms in Texas, but not abnormally so. All of a sudden, the wind where I was living started blowing like crazy, and I'm looking out the back window, and we have this old fence because I was living at a friend's house at the time, and his fence, the fence on this house, it just started flapping in the wind like it was a piece of paper. I mean, it was just going back and forth. It's an 8-foot tall fence too. And I just thought the thing was just gonna, rip off the ground and go somewhere. But nothing severe ever happened where I was living. But shortly after that strong gust of wind came through there, they come on the TV saying there's a report of a tornado on the ground in Garland, Texas. And I was living in Garland, which is a suburb of Dallas. I was living in Garland at the time. And the location they gave was 2 miles due south of where I was, and it was heading north. So I was like, oh crap. So I got my kids, put them in there, and I got on the phone, and the first thing I started doing was posting messages to Facebook. If you're in the Garland area and surrounding cities, take cover now. Take cover. I'm sending this out to everybody I know, or I'm posting it to my timeline so everybody I know can see it and, take cover. At least 2 of my friends, it might have been more, but at least 2 of my friends got hit by the tornado. indirect hits. They were just grazed by the tornado. So it did damage to their houses, but not severe damage. But in the same neighborhoods they were in, there were houses that were, and I'm talking big houses that were wiped clean off the foundation. There was nothing but cement and rubble left after this tornado went through. And it went from the southern tip of Garland across the lake, across a freeway, and it killed, I believe, 9 people. And all of those people, I believe, were in cars on the freeway. There were people who were in their homes on the city neighboring Garland, which is Rowlett. There were people on that side of the border in the path of the tornado. They had no idea anything was going on. They were on their phones talking to people, but they had their TV off, so they didn't know there was a tornado in the area. Now, this really, really, really bothers me, because there is no reason why I should be able to post on my timeline, there is a tornado in the area, you need to take cover, and none of my friends got that freaking message until the next freaking day. None of them. And to this day, Facebook does not have a mechanism in place so that you can warn friends or family or whatever that there's impending danger and something needs to be done. There is no way to do it. And for the life of me, I've tried everything, and there's been a couple other emergencies. I've tried, whatever I could think of to see if I can try to get this post to appear on people's pages. And lo and behold, they don't see it until well after everything is over and done with. I still get posts that friends post a day, 2, sometimes 3 days after they post it. What the hell is that? It drives me crazy. It makes me want to cuss on this video, but I'm restraining. Facebook, fix this problem. There is no reason I should not be able to warn my friends who are on Facebook that a tornado is headed straight for their house. There should be at least some kind of mechanism where you can say, this post is an emergency. It needs to go to the top of everybody's feed who follows you. There's no reason. Now, Twitter has kind of done the same thing, but they're not as bad, and you can still kind of see their posts in the order that it was posted, but don't follow this lead, Twitter. If you do, you need to put the proper precautions in place. Facebook, I don't know. The reason I decided to do this video today was because right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there are storms that are spawning tornadoes, just like it is. Right now where I am, it's calm. But 20, 30 miles west of here, it's pretty crazy right now. So I just thought this is something that needs to be addressed. There's no reason why, with all this technology we have, with all this communication we have these days, instant communication to people we know, I should be able to post something that alerts everyone I know, hey, there's danger around you. You might need to find something to do about it. But anyway, I just wanted to post this, and I wanted to make this known. And Facebook, I don't care if you don't respond to me, but you need to address this problem. And I want you to just share this video. I want you to if you post it on Twitter or somewhere else, I want you to do what you can to get Facebook's attention to this matter, because as the #1 form of communication in this country, probably the world now, they need to be held responsible for when stuff like this goes down. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to use that platform to send out a message that reaches everyone. I shouldn't have to go through my timeline and text each person that I know one by one. That's a lot of people. That is impractical, and that would take far too long. So figure it out, guys. But anyway, I'm gonna end that rant block, and I'm gonna say that I do have other videos coming. As you can see, everything is set up and pretty much ready to go. So we're still clearing up things, getting things out the way. We did a video for Nerd Unpacked the other day, so Videos are coming, guys. There's a ton of stuff in the pipeline. I can do a video every day for probably the rest of the year now. But anyway, if you like the video, share it to Facebook. I don't care if you liked it or not. Send this message out to them. But either way it goes, I'd appreciate your comment in the bottom, because any like and comment that you add to this video adds to the engagement, which encourages YouTube to send the video out to more people. So if you can do that, at least do that much to help. But anyway, my name is Elemento, and this is TechnoScope.
TechnoScope is a Twisted Curve production.